All right, let's take a look at setting up our code inside of Unity. So here's our character, and what we need is a UI, and we need a text box within that UI. So you can see here um, that it's very tiny, so we're going to go ahead and just make this text white, and let's adjust the font size a little bit. And I'm going to add a panel behind it. And let's move our text as well. It's going to be our title for our panel here. Let's move that in front of our panel. And then on top of it, we need a text field. An input field. So we're going to put our input field here. And this is where they enter the number. And then below that, we'll create a button. And let's shrink our panel down just a little bit. What we'll do maybe in the next video is work on how to trigger this if there's not enough time. So just for the new text, it's like guess the number on the dice or something. Or we'll just say guess the number. And let's center this, and expand this out a little bit. And expand this out as well. All right, nothing too fancy here. Just let's go to 2D here so we can see that a little bit better. All right, so we have to create an empty game object, and we'll just call this dice game. And let's attach the script to this. I know we have it attached to our cube, so let's remove that from here actually. Well, you know what? Let's leave it on there. This is what's going to spawn it. So let's delete this, and then let's call this cube our uh, game NPC. So I don't know, until we come up with like a character design or something. I'll make a video on how to model that too. So all we're going to do is plug these in here. So we're going to go out here. We know that our input field, and what I'll do is I'll lock this for a second. And we know that our game PC, we have an output field here. So the output field is, we'll just use the same text from here. So drop this as output text. So guess the number, will change the number from here, and it'll be our updates. Maybe we should make that a little bit bigger, but we'll see. Actually, you know what we'll do? Let's add another text object, actually. So in here, we'll make another text object. And we'll just place this text object in the center here. And let's unlock this for a second. So we'll make it pretty big. We'll make it this long. And we'll grab these two and bring them down a little bit. And then for that way our text, we'll name this output text. Like that. And yeah, we'll leave that where it is. Okay, so for this output text, it'll feed out this way and it'll spit out whatever they got it wrong, if they won or they didn't win. So let's go back here to our game NPC. Let's lock this and let's drag these in. So for output text, here's our output text. This will be our output. Our input field will be this. And then we have our button here. So let's press play. And let's go ahead and enter a number. And it doesn't seem like that's hooked up. Let's see what's going on here. You know what I realized is I never called our process game function, which we need to do when we click our button. Um, so when we double click our button, we want process game to be called. So let's make sure that's also a public variable. So public void process game. And here, let's uncheck play for a second. Let's go to our button, and you'll notice, let's unlock this. We have a on-click event here. So when we click that, what I want to do is grab a reference from our dice guy. So here is our game NPC. I'm going to go to no function. There's our dice function or dice class, and there's our process game. So with process game, right? If I press play now and I click the button, please enter a number. So let's do 3. Dice result was 5, you lost. Let's do 4. There's dice result was 1. So let's type a bunch of stuff in here. Please enter a number. So we've got a pretty good dice game going. It's kind of tough, right? Because you're guessing between a certain value, 4, 5, okay? So that's our setup. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll take a look at expanding this.